commit crime because they're not paid enough when they come to this country.
You can simplify it all you want, but you have shown yourself. That is just a horrible thing to say.
I've shown myself as what?
It's disgusting.
I've shown myself as... No, hang on. I've shown myself as what?
That's absolutely disgusting.
Say the word
way
you want
talk
to
about
say.
People, what word am I trying to say?
You're accusing me of racism.
I said exactly what I meant,
You're accusing me of racism.
I told
Yes,
you exactly. I said it's disgusting. And I'm allowed to say that.
Disgusting?
I heard
what
you.
Specific bit
you can't
is
speak. Why are you're speaking about people who have come here as economic migrants or refugees?
The guy in the green top is everything wrong with the liberal left in this country. He said British people who want to deport foreign criminals are grotesque. He's another one who obviously cares more about the rights of foreign criminals than he does their British victims. His opponent, who was brilliant here, tells him straight when she says they should be sent straight back to where they came from if they commit a crime. He appears visibly disgusted by that comment and implicitly calls her racist, but refuses to admit it when she asks him to be clear on what he's getting at. He's arguing that British people should have no benefits in their own country. We all know that is pretty much already the case, but being a citizen of a nation is meant to mean something. Regarding immigration, we should be able to choose the right people we want to come here. Once they arrive, they should be on probation for a long period of time where they must prove themselves worthy of full citizenship. That's the same for any club or business. It's such an anti-British view to say foreign criminals should have all the same rights as British citizens as soon as they get here, especially when we have mass immigration at the highest levels in history. If you come here, respect our customs and culture, you'll find we are a fair, welcoming society. Abuse that fairness and you should be deported. It's as simple as that. That doesn't mean deporting people for getting a parking ticket. But serious foreign criminals or people who are fundamentally against our nation should be gone in a heartbeat. We all know half of them shouldn't have been allowed here in the first place. The fact is, if we carry on the way we are, it will be the demise of our nation. People will continue to come here and continue to force their way of life on us, and before you know it, we'll be a third world country. Slowly but surely, we are facilitating the takeover of our own nation. Anyway, take a listen to this.
I think that, number one, we elect a government, British governments, to look after British people. So actually, the welfare of British people is more important to me than the welfare of people overseas, because that's who we elect our governments to protect. I think that the problem with a case-by-case situation we have now is it encourages endless appeals, and it goes on and on. The longer somebody stays, they may get a girlfriend, they may have a baby. It makes it complicated. I do think that it's a privilege to come to the UK. It's a privilege to be welcomed here and to make a life here. And if you commit a crime, I think that you've violated that great privilege you've been given. So I think the default should be, I think there should be allowed appeals, but I think the default should be if you commit a crime of a certain level above, a violent crime, for example, drug dealing would be another one, I don't know what the list would be, that, yeah, you should be deported. The problem comes when some countries don't want to take criminals back, and other people, the human rights...
Sorry.
Human rights are used as a reason to say, I can't be deported because I have a family here. Well, they can go with you. Okay, but one easy fix is to let's take those prisoners who aren't British and send them back to where they come from. And then you've solved the problem of the lack of space. Now, you're laughing. It's a perfectly normal and kind of sort of common sense way to do things.
It's such a righteous, problematic view to have, that you believe every country that has people leaving here for economic migrant is now, it needs aid. And the reality is that, like, British people have this thing of, like, whenever people come and you don't like something, it's kick them out. They cost too much, kick them out, send them home. It's just like, it's such a grotesque way to look at a human life. And in reality, when British people go to other countries, they act significantly as bad, if not worse, than any migrants that come here. So the reality is that actually look at yourself and your own behaviour and your own travel, and how you conduct yourself.
Let's turn this on.
If you are in a situation where we are paying to house foreign nationals in British prisons, there doesn't seem to me to be a good argument when money is tight for why we are doing that.
For me, there's just a darkness where you invite people over to this country to
But often we
contribute to your
didn't invite
country,
them over.
and invite them into this country to participate and to do all the jobs that you don't want to do. But then if you do anything that they don't like, it's like, get out of our country, and they're completely shunning them in society and acting as if you're hiding
crime.
No, but as I said before, when we talk about policing minoritized communities, it's not as straightforward as he committed a crime. You can handpick particular stories of obvious crimes that have been done, but the consequence of policing everybody in that way is absolutely going to be significantly worse than it helps anything. So, but you keep driving people out of this country, but there's still a massive, massive employment gap in this country, and the wages don't live up to what it is that people actually should be paid equitably for.
All right, so you're saying people should be able to commit crime because they're not paid enough when they come to this country?
You can simplify it all you want, but you have shown yourself. That is just a horrible thing to say.
I've shown myself as what?
It's disgusting.
I've shown myself as... No, hang on. I've shown myself as what?
That's absolutely disgusting.
Say the word you want to say.
People, what word am I trying to say?
You're accusing me of racism.
I said exactly what I meant.
Accusing me of racism.
I told
Yes,
you
you
exactly.
are.
I said it's disgusting. And I'm allowed to say
what's
that.
disgusting?
I heard
What
you.
specific bit
You
is
can't speak.
disgusting?
Why are you're speaking about people who have come here as economic migrants or refugees?
Their
and you're
choice to
speaking
come
about
here.
them as they're disposable. It's just like, oh, whenever we don't like them, we send them back somewhere. That's disgusting rhetoric. You can't say
If
that
somebody
type of
comes to
things.
the
But
UK
continue.
for their choice,
I'm
they
sure
don't
it's your
hang
right
on.
and freedom
Hang
of
on.
speech.
Hold on,
They
let
don't
me
come
try.
here out of great humanitarian desire to better this country. They come here for themselves, to better their own lives, to send money home to their own families. If they then commit a crime, then they have no right to stay. There are people who have absolutely come here at our invitation, but there are many more, particularly in the last 10 years.
My family are a part of it, so it's
exactly.
just like it's going to be dismissive.
Let me speak. Recent immigration is people choosing to come to this country
I would argue
for financial reasons.
I would argue